Welcome back to this very amazing channel of ours where we will be diving into everything coding, especially when it comes to data science, artificial intelligence, and everything in within. Let's carry on with what we already started, that is diving into SQL. So in the previous videos, I was taking you through SQL using the Oracle SQL developer. And some of you were claiming and you inboxed me, you told me that you would not love to use the Oracle developer, but you would love to use MySQL developer. Some of you said you were already starting up with SQL developer, and so you wanted to go through from scratch, from how to install it to getting to work with it to this level where you are doing amazing, running amazing queries and all this stuff. So let's start from the very scratch. So what I'm going to do now is make the assumption that you are still a beginner or starting afresh. So you may not have the workbench installed as yet. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put myself into your show and start from that very scratch. So what I'm going to do is close that, come to my settings and go to my SQL developer already, the setting, and I want to come and uninstall the workbench, which is here. I'm going to uninstall it quick here. So I am starting together with you from scratch. Now, there are things that I will not uninstall because I'm not sure of my internet speed, and what I'm not going to install are these things: the SQL server and the SQL shell. Why? Because they already have details of my databases. I work with some databases that are remote, so I do not want to tamper with their configuration. So I want to just use, some of them have forgotten the passwords already, so I do not want to mess my password. So I'm only uninstalling the workbench itself. So now we're going to pick up our tool, which is I'm going to pick up our browser. Of course, I use Google Chrome. So I'm going to come up to the browser and type MySQL download. I'm going to hit that, and bang, I come to the official site of Oracle, and I'm looking for the workbench. So MySQL, of course. Now for your case, right? For your case, you will need the community server. You need to click this link, go download, install, right? This the server. Well, I'm looking for this because the rest are installed, so I'm coming here. And the amazing thing with this is that they already recognize that I'm using Windows, so that's amazing. So I'm going to download the Workbench installer. The thing to notice here is that I'm downloading the community. Of course, now you are just starting with your SQL journey. I don't believe you want to use like a paid tool as of now. You do not want to use a paid tool to learn. So community versions of those tools will always come in handy for like training, for learning and practicing. So, and that's why we're using the SQL community workbench. So nice, no worries. Now you're gonna hit the download button. I am praying that my internet is real quick, so we will download 40 MBs. Sometimes it's really not so nice. So finally, you in the official place for downloading this thing. So Oracle is going to ask you to either log in if you already have an account or sign up. But no, we don't want to do that. I have an account with them, but why should I don't want to do this now. I don't want to log in now or sign up again. There's this amazing option down here that says, hey, Oracle, I love what you're doing, but I really don't want to sign up or log in. I simply want the software. So I'm going to click that, and bang, the download starts, right? And the download will start, and because I already have it downloaded, so I'm going pre-download it. So, well, again, it went and yeah, still download it again. So I'm going to go to the folder where this download is, and I can see that it's down here. So what I'm going to do is just double click it. You can see the details about it there. The author is the right author. It's an installation. The subject is that. So I'm going to double click on it, and I'm going to minimize all these other tools. So because my PC, doesn't simply download from it doesn't allow installation from any random source, right? And so it may not show up for your machine. Maybe your setting is open, but mine always ask me in case I downloaded some executable files from elsewhere and it's trying to download to install on my machine. It will ask me this question. So I'm simply going to say install anyway, and installation starts. So I'm going to minimize everything else and remain with the installation wizard. So pretty much it's easy. Just follow up the steps. So warning, the program is protected. So once again, don't start selling this thing for money. It's community. So now it's asking me, do I really want to install it in the disk C in program files? Absolutely. Why not? Next. And again, it's now it wants me to select what kind of installation I'm looking for. Now, I want to install the full thing. Why is this important? Is that I showed you already here. I told you I will not be uninstalling this. Now, if you select to install the complete thing, your workbench will check if you already have these things installed, the server and the shell. If you didn't have them, then it will install, and that's why I recommend that you select the complete version where it installs everything. Why it says it will require more disk space? Because of these guys. The server takes up 500 MBs, and the shell takes 500, almost 600. So together you needed a GB, or yeah, this is 1.6 GB that you needed. So that's why it's telling you that it would need more space. While some of you might want to act cocky and want to come and click this custom thing, and then it will ask you to select what you want to install manually, and some of you will not know what to select. So I advise that you leave that alone and simply go with the complete thing and just next. And it's simply asking to confirm, do you really want to do this in this location? I have no issue. I say install, and now it's installing. Asking permission, I will allow that. And now, yeah, let the installation run. It shouldn't take a lot of time. Supposedly. Let's see. So once again, just a reminder that consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. If you're new to this channel, just make sure that you hit that like button. Take just a minute to do that. Hit the like button, subscribe, and in the comment section, just let me know what it is that you're facing with SQL, so I can read it and probably make a video specifically to address that thing that you're fighting with. Well, now that you're also done liking and subscribing, now we can also finish the installation, and Workbench should open. Well, right there is Workbench. It's open. Now you have successfully installed the MySQL Workbench Community version 8. And now, for your case, you will not be seeing any of these things appearing. Your thing will simply appear with nothing down here. Now, I remember telling you that because I did not uninstall this and this and this, so details of my previous databases are still stored on my machine because I didn't want to mess up my databases. So, but now I'm going to delete one. I'm going to delete this connection. I don't need it. I don't need that. So now in yours now, you don't have anything else here, and I'm also going to imagine I don't have any database here. So let's just walk through the interface of the workbench. I mean, it's simple, pretty simple, and I love the simplicity. You can read the documentation, you can read blogs about it, you can go to their discussion forums and all these things. Amazing, right? No issue. So let's just walk you through, you know, let's just walk through what the interface is. Uh, the file lets you load data models, load scripts, and all these things. You can edit, but now we don't have anything selected yet, so you could redo, archive, copy, paste it. The view just lets you, you know, tweak how this entire thing interface will appear. Is it the mode, the size, the, you know, all those things. Then the database just allows you to, you know, manage your connection, the schema transfer, the reverse engineer, all these things. And then the tools, configure your database, then you look at the shell, and then the scripting allows you, you know, to open and, you know, to write SQL scripts. And the help button simply lets you find help. So now that we have gone briefly over those uh, tools up there on the, how do you call that? Is that the taskbar up there? So now, what is more important here is that you don't have anything, as you on your side, you don't have anything here. But what you have is this plus button or this database. So if we want to now move on and write our very fast SQL code. So let's go on and make sure we're ready to write some SQL code. So what you want to do is start by creating a connection. So let's create a connection. A connection is simply a database, and it's called connection both in MySQL and also in Oracle Developer. They are called connections. That is a database. So what we want to do is click this button, and it tells you to create a new or set up new connection. So what we're going to do is simply enter the new connection, right? The name of this connection. So I'm going to say YouTube demo DB, or demo database. So it asks, so it's telling you, so it's running on this, on, so this is your local machine. So it's the local server. It's running on, that port right now. You are the root, which is the system admin, no problem, right? The password, you want to do that. So what we want to do is test the connection. Can we create a database? So we need to create a new, we need to create the password. So I'm going to enter very quick password, four digits only, and then I'm going to save it so that each time I'm trying to connect to this database, I am not asked again and again to enter this password, because the system should already know, because it already has my credentials stored. I'm gonna click, and yeah, there, success. So it means that we can actually create this database. Now, this is where the error start for most new guys. That when they say this and when they write the name of the database they want to create, and then they try to test the connection, most of the people will always get the error saying they cannot connect to the database. That is simply because you decided, when the thing asked you whether to install the complete version or to install some custom versions, you selected custom, and you could not tell whether or not you needed the server, and so you ignored the server, and now you don't have this. So you only have the workbench, but you don't have the shell, and you may not have the server. But now if you don't have the server, then you can't connect. So it will not be a successful connection. So that's a quick dive into potential error. But if you at installation did not select complete installation and you selected custom, and you forgot that you needed the server, then this would be a big point for you, because you'll run into an error saying you are not able to connect to the server. Well, first we are able to, because we did the complete installation. So now we move on and say okay, and say okay, and a new database is created here. So we now want to connect to this database by simply double clicking that, or coming to this right here, this button right here, click that and say connect to a database, and then come, because I know the name, so you come select it's demo db, and then I say okay, and yeah, and I'm connected. Now these are codes that are stored in my uh, documentation, so I'm going to read them so it makes it easier for you. So now, in your case, when you connect to the database, this is the interface that you'll be introduced to. You'll have still some actions up there and some more down here, and then your administrative panel here, which allows you to check the clients, the users that you have, all these things. But now we're into our working environment, and now we can write some SQL code, right? So it's the easiest code to write. That is one of data definitions queries. That is the query to create a table. So I'm going to create a very simple table. That is YouTube, let's say channel details. So let's create table, YouTube details, and we define some values right here, some columns right now. Channel name, um, channel name is going to be string, so we'll save it as variable length character of at worst 20 characters or at max 20 characters. Uh, it's a required field, so it cannot be null. Because we're also going to use the channel names as unique verifiers, so we make it the primary key, and we're going to come back and talk about what primary keys mean and what they're not now further into details mean. The next is we want to know who owns this channel. Who owns this channel? And it's also a string, so it will be a variable length character of. Oh, some of you have very long names, so I'm going to give it up to 30. And then we also want to know how many subscribers the channel has. So subscribers, subscribers. It's a number, so it will be some integer values. It's also required, so it cannot be null. We also want the owner's name, the channel, the guy who owns the channel, his name should be there. We require it, so we come and close and terminate. And then what we do is select that, and now to run it for beginners, for absolute beginners who don't intend on, well, let me just call it so, for uh, complete beginners, what you want to do is come to this, right? You see this lightning button there. If you click it, it runs your code. But for somewhat senior guys, you hold down your control button and then press the enter button. Now I want you to pay attention to this part. This is the error field here. This is the output of what you're doing there. Now there is an amazing error right here. I'll expand it so we can see. It says uh, creating this table has not been successful because we have not selected any database to work with. So we need now. This is again some frustrating thing. This is very frustrating. Some very frustrating thing that you open up your SQL, your MySQL, you write the correct code, but when you try running this code, it simply doesn't run. Simply keeps telling you this thing that you really can't see where it comes from. Well, this is where it comes from, and I always tell people that whenever you have an error in whichever programming you are, whenever you see an error, make an attempt to read this error and try to make an understanding of what this error should mean. And so for us, our error is really simple. It simply means we have not selected any database where this table will be connected or will be created. And we know from definition that a database is a collection of or a storage space for multiple tables that have relating information. So our MySQL is simply telling us that we need to select a given database. Now, for MySQL, this database is stored as a schema. So what we want to do is come back to this side panel right here. Now on the side panel, what we're looking at right now are administrative tools. And right after that, there's what we call the schemas. This, right? This. So now the remember that we have just created our database, but we just created the connection. We haven't created a database. So we want to create a database. How do you create a database in MySQL? That's a question. So right up there, these amazing action bars here, there is a picture of a database, which is this one. And when you just hover your mouse on it, it says create a new schema, right? In the connected server. That's what you want to do. You want to click on it and it says create a new schema, right? Specify the name of the schema. You can use combination of that. So let's just create the name of the schema. We're going to call it the YouTube database. The YouTube database. And now there's this to apply. So we come and apply, and it's telling you that it's creating a schema called, which is simply a database called that. And we say no problem, apply. And we say finish. You can see that YouTube database now has been created. And if you expand this, you see tables. It still doesn't have any tables. It still doesn't have any view. It still doesn't have any procedures that have been saved. Not a single function. So what we want to do now is come and close this and remain with our query. And you can see that now we're working inside a given database. Now it's specified that we're working with this database. So we will collapse that and now run our query. For beginners, hit that button. For slightly not beginners, control button down and the enter button follows. What does it say? It says no database selected again. Uh, we're working with this database, so it should now work. Uh, let's come here and select this and run it. No, what is it saying? When you select this, you select the schema by double clicking it, and this should run. Now, correct. So you need to double click on the schema you want to work with, and you will see that the schema's name will be highlighted right there. So right there like that. And now we're working with some schema. Now we have created a table in the schema. So now we just want to confirm that the table has been created by selecting everything in this table. So we're going to select everything. The star or the asterisk there means everything. From what table do you have? The table we have is YouTube dates, right? Terminate that. Come there, select it, and run. So now you can see that we have successfully created the table, YouTube dates, and now right now it has columns like channel name, owner, subscriber. So let's add there some data by inserting into the YouTube dates, and the values we want to insert there are the channel name is coding with Douglas, coding with Douglas, and the owner is Douglas O'Neill. And how many subscribers so far? We want, yeah, we want 3,000 guys. We want 3,000. So you just yourself watching this video. This video is important to you, has been helpful, right? Now look at how many subscribers we have now. This is a new channel, barely a week old. By the way, the channel is barely a week old, so you're seeing few subscribers. So put yourself there so that we grow quicker and become a community of data scientists. So consider that. So we're looking for 3,000 people. We want to have at least 3,000 subscribers by the first month. This is a fresh new channel just created in May 25th of 2025. So just imagine how many days away, what date are you watching this video? This channel was created on 5th of May 2025. So it's pretty much very, very, very fresh, new. So you need to subscribe. You need to subscribe so that the community grows. Nice. So let's go. So now we're ready to insert some data. So what we want to do is now uh, select that by holding down your shift by let me select again. Again, I will tell you that as somebody who's looking at diving into the IT field, you don't want to be too used to your mouse. You need to learn the keyboard. So what we're going to do is to select this field, this old text, because I see it's right off my cursor. I'm going to hold down my shift button and then press the arrow down button and selects everything right of my cursor. And then to run it, I am going to press down my control button and press the enter button. And now you can look down here and it says that one row has been affected, meaning we have successfully added this to our database, right? So we want to select again everything that is in our database and see if we really have added something. So now I select that and enter, and bang, now you can see the channel name is Coding with Douglas, and then the owner is Douglas on Intern, and then the subscribers 3,000, which we need to look for it. So subscribe, like the video, go to the comment section and tell me what your error is, the trouble you're facing with MySQL or Oracle Developer or any SQL tool is, and I might make a very specific video to simply discuss your issue. So I mean, it's not good enough already. I think it is. So now let's do that. So hit the like button, subscribe, go to the comment section, tell me what issue you have with your SQL, and I can help you out. So for now, we've come to an end of this video, which has been a two-part video. The first one talked about installation, and then we got ready to do some of the so we got to do some of small queries, which we call data definition queries. So that's a small recap to this video. And now our next the next video will be going into the other concepts of SQL, because in SQL we have about 6 different languages. I mean, there's simply sections of queries in SQL that define given things. So, for example, we have the data definition queries, which are include the create table, delete table by saying drop table or alter table. And then we have what we call the data manipulation. That is things like insert, you know, update. And then we have the data query language, which is purely dominated by the select. So we want to dive into all those queries in the subsequent video. So still again, you consider subscribing so you get to learn all those things in the next videos that are coming. So for now, bye bye, and I see you in the next video. So just do your practice as of now. Make sure you can install and start writing some of these codes inside select. I see you in the next video.